Welcome to the Canoe Slalom New Zealand, our Olympians podcast. Today we chat with Donald Johnstone, New Zealand's first canoe slalom Olympian, finishing 25th at the Barcelona Olympics in 1992. How did you originally get into canoe slalom?
Through club level, really. I was based in the Manawa too, so I spent a lot of time either club paddling with Palmerston North City Canoe Club or the Ruahine Whitewater Canoe Club. So both of those were pretty strong in slalom. I think the Manawa 2 was probably the strongest region at that time. And yeah, it just sort of, it was something that I really took to. But firstly, I was sort of a recreational club paddler, so sort of that grassroots start, and then you just sort of worked through there used to be so many more slaloms. I think back in those days, every club would run a slalom across the country, so you're always going to something, and I think that was quite beneficial, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty much through that club level paddling. We did have in the slightly later years before I sort of went over to Europe, we did have some internationals come over, which was really cool because that sort of gave you a little bit of an insight into what people were doing overseas. Yeah. We did have plenty of other New Zealanders that went before us. And they always brought back good stories, and it was always good to paddle with them and learn some skills. But certainly exposure with international paddlers. I used to go over and do the Australian nationals pretty regularly, and that was another place you'd often meet some of the European paddlers who would be over, just getting their bit of sunshine paddling in for the summer. So it was quite, that was quite inspirational, meeting some of those people and just watching their skill set.
Amazing. And can you remember, how did it even come about that you might be able to go to the Olympics? Can you remember, what was the criteria, or, was it a battle to even try and talk to the NZOC, hey, there's this Olympic sport and we've got an athlete that can go? And
1972, I saw on television this amazing sport, this incredible, crazy river with people going down it in kayaks, and they were going through gates. I didn't really understand that was actually a sport. This is before I even started. Because I didn't really start paddling until, I want to say, 1977.
Yeah. How old were you then?
Oh, good grief. I was pretty young. I must have been, 12, 13, something around there. Yeah. So how it came. Well, I guess that was the greatest period sort of between Olympics, was 72 and then it was 92.
Yeah.
So it was a good amount of years between. And I've been racing World Cup, World Champs, and I could generally sort of sit in the top 10 pretty comfortably. I guess for me, my best year would have been 1987, where I think ended up 5th at the World Champs.
Wow!
But felt pretty robbed because I could have got on the podium in third had I have not just dropped low on one move, which was largely recognised as being worth 2 seconds. So but that's sport,
Yeah.
So, the Olympics just sort of came along. It was just it was talked about, they're thinking of bringing canoe slalom back into the Olympics. And, when I was racing, you didn't race as many artificial courses as obviously it's pretty much 100% now. But I would have said we had a lot of natural river courses, which did suit me because that's what I've grown up on.
Yeah.
With kind of the exception of Augsburg, which I really liked, and it kind of suits me a bit too. So I guess with Barcelona, they built a artificial course, and that was sort of the start of